Am I becoming a Gooner figure reviewer? Why, yes. Yes, I am. But that's besides the point. Hey everyone, Ryby's here, welcome to our review of the Cang Toys 12's War 1/12 scale Mora action figure. And if you're curious, yes, they made the chest squishy. Why? So let's get on to the review. Starting with the box. It has some nice artwork that kinda looks AI generated to my eyes, but hopefully it's not. They don't list the artist's cool stuff on the sides. Back shows off the figure, has the quality assurance sticker. I got this figure at Bombusbee, though it might be cheaper to get it on Amazon now. Who cares? Figure time. Wait, this isn't a figure. This is a card. Cool. And out of the box, and she's actually relatively tame. Her color scheme is just a, really nicely painted gunmetal gray with black and some dark blues mixed in there, along with, of course, whites and flesh tone with some pink highlights. Her horns are incredibly well painted and made of a very solid and hard plastic, so make sure not to break these, but they look really nice, and her hair is sculpted fairly well. Her little ponytail, well, not little, her giant ponytail is also sculpted well, but I don't trust the tiny swivel hinge that this thing is on. The little bits of red on the shoulders are very nicely painted, as are the triple X's you can see right there. Her gauntlets are also pretty nice, and her overall arm design very much reminds me of a Figma figure. Her chest armor has 10 printed on it, as well as this kind of detail that's supposed to mimic text, I assume. There's also this little white triangle with a little dash of red with that white striping, and all the extra little wrappings of what I assume are belts look pretty nice, but I'm not sure how they would work as an actual outfit. Now, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, they used silicone for her top, meaning that they gave her squishing action. That just feels weird and gross, but also oddly satisfying, like a stress ball. Aside from the hands, it's the only place they use a softer plastic, and it just feels out of place. While her sculpting is for the most part really nice, this part of her hip comes out a little further than where her leg actually starts, giving it this odd indent that usually doesn't occur at this place in the human body. But on the plus side, the rest of her legs are really nicely sculpted, and the armor bits look really cool. I just wish there was more of it in this color. That same X aesthetic continues on her legs as well, which is super nice, and her heels even are nice, chunky, and thick, and are painted in this nice, dark red. Oh, and final reminder about the horns. They're sharp. They could probably draw blood. Just the way I like it. Now that you have a complete overview of her design, let's go over some of her accessories. Stand. It has articulation. That's all you need to know. Tighten it up with a little screwdriver. Also, it has a clip and a peg, so that you can plug it into this mysteriously placed hole right above her. That's where this skirting armor is supposed to go. Now, I have no idea why this thing is the loosest part on the planet Earth, but it shows us that she's actually supposed to be a shark. I don't fully understand, and they don't really pull through with the aesthetic, but apparently she's supposed to be shark themed, or at least like big fish themed. This piece is made out of a nice flexible plastic, painted fairly nicely, and I do wish it was a little less loose, but it works well enough. Also, it comes with her gun holster, or sword holster, called Black Horn. Really cool. And you can even store her swords straight in here. And it actually is a pretty nice fit, though initially I had to warm this up before I could do that, because, I don't want to ruin the sword. Plus, who doesn't love a good weapon storage? Now, this is her big sword, and it has a lot of very intricate detail by that hilt. Super cool, almost reminds me of a Xenoblade weapon. Looks sick and is really freaking cool, made of a slightly flexible plastic, but do not tempt it. Same thing to be said for the smaller sword. Very nice paint and sculpting, slightly flexible, but don't tempt it. And I do wish there's a little more detail on the hilt here, but otherwise, it looks pretty solid and pretty cool. Now, instead of plugging the stand in there, all you have to do is plug the skirting armor into that peg hole up there, and that would be replaced by this thing right here, which is where you would clip in the stand, but it's a bit of an awkward position in my opinion. I mean, you can also remove this piece to reveal this hole, and I honestly don't understand why you would do that, so that's going back on there. Now to my least favorite accessory, the hair piece, because technically it is swappable, so it kind of counts as an accessory. One, it's not exactly symmetrical. This little piece is on this side, so I guess it's supposed to be here, but then if you want to do it here, it just doesn't work, which is annoying. Second thing, it's on the absolute smallest swivel peg I have ever seen of my life. I do not trust this thing whatsoever. So when swapping heads or putting this back on, do be careful. And another problem, it's loose. Like, ugh. At least the hair is made out of a flexible, well, semi-flexible plastic, and is sharp enough to maybe make you bleed. And we all know you like that. Good boy. Or girl. I don't know who's watching these videos. Well, I mean, I do know about 30% of my viewers are female and about 70% are male. And, you know, just everyone else in between. But, hey, if you want to help out the channel, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You know I gotta ask it. I am a YouTuber. And, you know, I just gotta show just a little bit. Also, age range, most of you guys are like in your mid-20s to mid-30s, which is someone who's 21. I don't know how I feel about that age bracket not matching my age whatsoever. But enough about me. Catch these hands. She has fist hands, and they are made of a nice soft, flexible, whatever plastic, nicely painted, look pretty nice. She also has nice open hands that do unfortunately show some of the other side of the hand through it, because they're made of this nice flexible plastic, but that means that they will not break, and yes, they still have the armor bits on the other side. Oh, and of course, holding hands. Her swords. Like, do you not see how big those things are? I mean, just imagine if one of these things went inside you. Serious ouchies. Now let's talk about her head. It's pretty good. She has this neutral face with just clear gray eyes. This more almost concerned, cute looking face. And this somewhat stern battle face with the heterochromia for eyes, where you have your neutral eye and of course her glowing red eye to show that she's using her power, along with a little mark that looks pretty cool, almost, yeah, fish-like. Talk about a badass battle scar. But that's not everything about her head. She has a second one. It takes a little bit of force and effort, but oh no. But you can detach her normal head and replace it with this one, meaning that her horns are an accessory and not a part of her body, which is kind of sad. But let's see if you can attach this part without breaking anything. Oh wow, that actually worked. You can also see how poor of a job they did painting her neck. That is a very different color from the rest of her skin tones. Her haircut is super adorable. Oh, and she has extra wrist pegs, so pretty nice. Okay, articulation time. She has a dumbbell joint in the neck, allowing for a good bit of range, but like nothing backwards, which is really unfortunate, but she can look decently down, though unfortunately her dress blocks any downward visibility if she was a real person. There's also a swivel hinge for the ponytail, so that's nice. Arms move up this far, and they are on ball joints, so they do get some wiggle room to them, and yes, she does have a bicep swivel, as well as a single jointed elbow. And your standard import swivel hinge wrist thing for the wrist. She has a dumbbell joint for the torso, but it does like to pop off, unfortunately. The skirt piece loves those swivel hinge joints, but actually has a bit more stability and hardness to them, as well as the swivel hinge for the giant blade holster right here, which looks freaking cool. I know it's a scabbard, but this looks more like a holster. I mean, come on, look at this thing. Hinge here, and another swivel hinge ball thing for that. Legs are on ball joints, allowing them to move up that far. Back, Yeah, that's kind of awful. And okay, splits. You can technically push the joints farther because this is made of a slightly flexible plastic, but it's really negligible. Thigh swivel. Double jointed bend at the knee. Ooh, that's nice. And swivel hinge combo. Pretty squeaky. Can do the spinny. Oh no, she lost a foot. Now you can technically use that as a stand, but I don't know, it feels... I mean, it's better than just upright using the stand. Alright, size comparison time. Here we have Mora next to Snail Shell Tokyo Kazune and Snail Shell Annalise. Here we have her next to the Marvel Legends Psylocke and the Sexy Eyes 2019 Manticora. And of course her fellow Cang Toys figure, Cang Toys Long. Overall, while I really did like Long, she had a lot of issues that I don't think Mora even really, even close to fixed. Limited articulation, they made the scope somehow worse, and character design is on point, but at the same time they just feel like they're missing something. Mora would essentially just be a shelf warmer to fill space, and with her giant sword, she is fully capable of doing that. But if you were wanting something a bit more sophisticated, or at least better articulated and sculpted and painted, I would say just go for Snail Shell or Figma. This figure's good, don't get me wrong, but I think for me personally it has some major shortcomings. And for the rest of the series, the bad guys are all model kits, which is fine, but they might take a little too long for me to build personally, and the other hero characters, well, this one still looks good, but I really wish they just had solid articulation, even though, you know, they're all very attractive, except for the children. Wait, seriously, Cang Toys, what the Yeah, that section was not intended to be a joke. I legitimately did not realize that Cang Toys was doing lollies. That's just a little too gross for my taste. No. Hopefully they make them look a lot less childlike and far more mature like these two. Otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I have affiliate links down in the description below, including links where you can buy her from Bombusbee and from Amazon. So, you know, there's that. Bye!